Hey guys, me again with another YouTube video. It's raining outside. You probably can hear it, to be honest with you. So yeah, well, I gotta get the videos done. So here we are. Today we're gonna be taking a look at this right here. This is the to me, I think this is the final vector I will ever build. This here is 6 Kriss Vector. He's someone that I hang out with quite often on my different usernames Discord server. Please don't be afraid to join the Discord server and hang out with us. There's a lot of really talented builders on there, some of which are better than me, so you guys will be able to see them there more than what I'm able to display on my channel. And then this one down here is Jim's Lego Vector. So as you can see, mine compared to theirs right here. I just wanted to show that. I had tried not too long ago to make a vector on par with Christopher Hopman's vector and failed, basically, is the best way that I can say it. But I did want to come back later on and try again, and this is the result of me trying again. So this vector I am definitely a lot happier with. This one looks much better than my other ones. It's scaled appropriately to the other vector, so I actually did the stud conversions and measurements and all of that wonderful mumbo jumbo, and that is all scaled correctly in this version. Some of my other versions were actually a lot smaller than this, and then one of them, the dimensions height wise were too short, so this one is a lot more accurate to the standard Kriss Vector. The other reason that I wanted to go through and make another Kriss Vector is because I saw a really cool rail attachment for an airsoft vector out of Japan. We'll get there because that's actually the last image in this kind of slideshow, if you would. I did make the stock foldable, so here you can see it folding off to the side as much as it needs to clear all of the functions and everything on the vector. So I did want to show that off to you guys instead of trying to fidget with it inside of LDD because of the button up here. It's not connected to the stock, so that makes things a little difficult, but as you can see, it does fold. This is the last image that we have, and as you can see, it's got the this rail extension muzzle brake attachment type thing that I found. This is called the Nitro Strike rail system. Like I said, as far as I can tell, it's made for airsoft Kriss Vectors, but I love the look of it. It looks really cool, so I did want to make another vector just for that. I didn't want to use the old vectors because I've grown as a builder since the last vector that I did, and I know I could do better, and this is the result of that. Inside of LDD, this is what it looks like. This is the final version that actually has iron sights on it, so this is what we've got so far. So starting with the stock, this is the original prototype stock. They don't actually use the stock anymore from what I can tell, but personal aesthetic taste, I like this stock better than the standard Kriss Vector stock, and for some reason the new kind of thing to do with vectors is to put M4 buffer tubes on them. I don't like that look personally. Now, obviously Rainbow Six Siege, when I get around to doing mirrors loadout, this is the vector that I'll be using, and there will be an M4 buffer tube on it with an M4 stock, but we're not there just yet, so I don't have to worry about that too much. Like I said, you push this button in and this will allow this whole stock to pivot. So it pivots on this right here, and it will fold 180 degrees over to the side and still allow you to operate the weapon using the ambidextrous controls. So pretty simple. The ambidextrous controls, this is a newer design that I came up with. I like this one. It's not too bad. It gets the angle in because there is a slight angle down with these. And like I said, it's not too bad. The only problem is that they're really wide, but that's really not too big of a deal. So this is the safety switch, so fire and safe, and that's it. This front one is the fire selector, so your semi-auto 2-round burst, and then your full auto. So that's what's going on here. Pretty simple. This is on both sides. Okay, I did not mean to do that. Like I said, pretty simple stuff. Not too much going on. 3 stud wide rail systems all the way around. If you recognize these sights, it's because it's from my ACR Divinity Edition model. They're wonderful flip-up sights. So this is in its rifle configuration right now, but you can flip them down into a pistol configuration with a V-notch in the back and then just a post in front. Pretty simple stuff. These were inspired by Alan's Custom Legos flip-up sights. Like I said, pretty simple stuff. The grip here is actually from my last vector, but it's extended because the last vector was too short height-wise. It's a 3 stud wide grip, and it's curved on both sides using cheese slopes to get a nice, comfortable feel. This has a flat trigger on it. Some vectors have flat triggers, others have a curved trigger. I particularly went with the flat trigger on this version. As you can see, the actual receiver part here is angled, and then it straightens out up here. That takes direct inspiration from Christopher Hopman's vector. His vector did basically the same thing. This was all angled, but it straightened out right here instead of trying to straighten out way up here. It looks a lot cleaner like that. The lower receiver on a lot of my other vectors, it was all angled. This one, only portions of it are angled, aka this thing up here. This is the only part of it that's actually angled. All of this is created using these 1x2 pieces that are turned on their sides using a very particular ratio. In real life, I would be able to continue how straight this is and there wouldn't be a gap here. But inside of LDD, it got a little too picky and didn't like that I was getting these as close as I was, so it finally decided to not allow me going down any further. So I had to actually change the ratio down here, but there is a very specific ratio here using both these pieces and these pieces basically stacked on top of one another to just slightly push forward and backwards these plate pieces to get them in the position where they need to go. And then same thing on this side going forward, except, oh, I'm sorry. I lied. That's actually using these pieces. I thought it was the other pieces. My bad. Pretty simple. The V logo is directly taken from a lot of my other Kriss vectors. It's not a vector without the V logo because it's on almost all the vectors. Bolt catch takes inspiration from my other Kriss vector in terms of the angling going on here, but the actual bolt catch is a different mechanism than what I usually use. Magazine release is up here. Pretty simple. You just push out on it and it releases the magazine. Like I said, not too much going on here. You can see part of it sticking in right there. The magazine itself is the basic Glock magazine. Nothing too fancy dancy about it. Again, pretty simple stuff. The actual charging handle does fold in. You can see it's on a pivot point, and most of the actual bolt itself is using actual Technic pieces. So on a lot of my older vector models, the bolt of the vector I had actually put right here inside of the shell ejection port, but that is not the case. Actually, most of the shell ejection port is empty on a vector. The bolt really does sit this far down inside. So this one I have actually now put that in there. You can see that at the end of the black, this line right here, that's where the usual vector ends. On this particular model, it has, again, the Nitro Strike rail system attachment to it. So it just kind of sits on over top of this, as you can see. Pretty simple. It just adds a little bit of length, and it also gets this cheese grater look on the end of it. It looks really cool. I really like the look of it, and I wanted it, so I added it. That is the newest vector that I made. I think it's actually the 6th version I've made, but I labeled this one the 5th one. I'm not entirely too sure. I have to check the website to see, but this is what we've got, and I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to comment, rate, and subscribe for more videos similar to this one. If you want to see updates from me and other regular gun builders in the community, I highly suggest you go check out my different usernames Discord server. Go check out his channel for the link to get to the server inside of his video descriptions. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to comment, rate, and subscribe for more videos similar to this one. See ya.